Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another broadcast here on DRL TV. This is the Dynasty Racing League's Winona Road Truck Series at Kentucky for the Kentucky 150. Nice 1.5 mile track. We're going to do 100 laps around here tonight. Wade Hustad was the fastest in practice. My name's Ryan Branch. I'm joined in the booth tonight by Taylor Butcher Benjamin. Taylor, you ready for some 1.5 mile track action tonight?
Yeah, this is going to be some race, I'll tell you. With the way these guys hustle around this track, I mean, we're going to be seeing speeds up to 175 miles an hour, so getting into turn 1 and into turn 3. And as we see Wade Hustad on the pole at the moment, no surprise, as he and his teammate Chad Presnell really got this place down this week. Of course, Chad coming off the win in the Cup Series race last night, and he's looking to make it 2 in a row.
Yeah, awesome win by Presnell last night. Charged his way all the way from the back of the pack all the way to the front to capture that victory. Wade Hustad there, just watching him as he's going around here in practice, looks like he has pretty good control over that truck. He had the thing sideways pretty much through the whole corner there. Maybe on a whole different level than some of our other truck rookies here tonight.
It's going to be important for some of these guys, like right outside the championship picture, guys like Daniel Holloway and Kip Galloway and some other guys that are needing to really make some noise if they want to make the chase that starts in a few weeks.
If I can pull those point standings up, you got Jeremy Hebel sitting here in first with 3 wins, Matthew Kleinschmidt coasting in second with a win. Eric Weatherholtz sits there with a win. All the other guys who've won so far this season in the Truck Series are not actually racing for points in the Truck Series. So had a lot of guys like Hustad and Presnell coming down and capturing some victories here in this Truck Series. But yeah, I mean, Kip Galloway, William Wingfield, Zachary Smith, and then even Casey Drake, Martin Wenzel, and Dustin Eichert, all 6 of those guys have a lot to race for here tonight. We're only about halfway through the season so far, but next week we're coming up to Eldora. I don't expect to see a large showing of individuals next week at Eldora. Maybe everybody will turn out, who knows, but I know some of the guys just skipped that race altogether just because it isn't their cup of tea. So with the guys looking at potentially a sat-out race or a poor performance race coming up next week, tonight's going to matter quite a bit towards these points.
There's no doubt about it. And Jeremy Hebel, of course, leading the points. He's right now the second fastest on the board, followed by Richard Springer, Chris Stouffer, outside Darius Jackson with a solid top 5 qualifying run thus far. Although right now Thomas Harmon and Chad Presnell have yet to put down a time. Actually, Thomas Harmon now 9th. It's going to be interesting to see what Presnell does. Because here he is. I see him out on the track now. He's about to come out turn 4 to complete his run. Because last night we saw him, as you mentioned, not only qualified rather poorly for his standard at least, but he actually had to come through the back twice because he actually early on in the race missed his pit stall, and it looks like he might have to start from the back again because his first lap did not register and time is going to run out on him.
Yeah, Presnell doesn't get a time down there. That's yeah, not like he hasn't done it before. It looks like he wants to race from the back. I don't know. Last night it seemed deliberate. He made it work for him. Again, as you said, raced through the pack twice last night, so we'll see if he can pull it off again this evening. I think he's going to have some issues with his teammate there in Hustad, though. Hustad seems really, really good here tonight.
Yeah, he's certainly the king of the 1.5 miles, at least in this league. So as we got about 1.5 minutes until they'll roll off here, let's roll through the starting lineup.
I'll get a grid pulled up here. Wade Hustad, hang on a second here. Wade Hustad sits in first. Jeremy Hebel, our points leader, sits in second. Richard Springer in third. Chris Stouffer in the 07 sits in fourth. Cy Jackson in fifth, a DRL rookie. David Wingfield, also a rookie, sits in sixth. followed by PJ O'Leary in 7th, Chris James in 8th. We got Thomas Harmon in the 68, sits 9th, Eric Weatherholtz in 10th. Jeffrey Meyer sits in 11th, Getty Buckner, 12th. We got Andrew Marsh, sits in 13th in a 91. Octavio Silveira sits in 14th. Dakota Wilkins, 15th in the 44. Matt Kleinschmidt sits in 16th. Steven Sims, 17th. Robbie Armstrong, 18th. We got Daniel Holloway in the 26, sits 19th. Kip Galloway sits 20th. Martin Wenzel, 21st. William Wingfield, 22nd. Is that the whole field tonight, or did my thing cut off short on me there?
We got a few more. 23rd, Clay Phillips. 24th, Cody Gatsky. 25th, Casey Drake, although he is going to miss the start because his connection had some sort of issue. And he, we see the field rolling off right now, and he right now is not in the server. And, of course, Chad Presnall starting shotgun on the field in 26th. So that is your starting lineup.
These guys are headed down the backstretch here. Looks like some of the guys in the rear of the pack are just now getting caught up here. Hopefully everybody gets right up on each other quick enough as we're about to take the green flag.
Here goes the pace car off, and Wade takes off, and we're underway.
Green flag, green flag, green flag.
And Wade Hustad. Nice jump he got there. The 29 just jumps out in front of everybody. Hebel looks like he didn't follow too well as he lets the 99 there on the inside of him. Comfortably sitting in second right now. So Wade Hustad, Richard Springer, Jeremy Hebel into turn 1 in first, second, and third. Hebel to the really inside of Springer.
This first run here, because last night we saw, or actually the last 2 nights, we saw the first run stretch out about 40 or 50 laps, and then caution came out. But then once we got that first caution, then we saw a rash of some more. So
yeah, that's actually happened in both the races so far this week. You had Monday night, I think it went to 50 laps before they had the first caution, and then last night very similar. So I'm still getting a little bit of reverb back through your microphone there, Taylor.
I'm not sure what's going on. No, we got 3 wide. Eric Weatherholtz squeezing down back there, about 7th or 8th spot.
Lots of 3 wide. It looks like we're now 4 wide on the track there. Who's that? Took it to the inside there. That's the 88 of PJ O'Leary, way down next to the apron. Almost takes it 4 wide.
Oh, he's on the apron. Boy, he had his hands full right there. Yeah, this is a tough place to run side by side, even on fresh tires.
The side by side, let alone 3 wide, that's getting a little bit crazy. I mean, it's a really wide track, but you have to take these corners in a very sweeping manner in order to make the corner work for you. So,
especially turn 3, that's a really deceiving corner. That's my hot spot, as you might call it. It's where I might expect to see a lot of trouble tonight. Hustad's already pulled out to nearly a second lead over the rest of the field already.
Oh, he did that, but we've also got Richard Springer there, and the 99 has already dropped back to 4th. So Chris Stover gets around him comfortably, and Cy Jackson is right on his bumper looking to make a pass, I would assume.
And Cy Jackson, he's really been stepping it up here recently. He's climbed up into, where is he? He's actually 5th in the points coming into the night. And tonight could possibly looking for his first career win in the Dynasty Racing League. As he's dogging Springer right now.
It looks like Hebel and Hustad, those guys have kind of taken off. Now that Hebel's out there running comfortably in second, I don't know if he'll be able to catch Hustad or not. But they're definitely pulling away from the rest of the pack.
Pretty solid race though for third, as Springer and Jackson have caught up to Chris Stouffer. Of course, we normally see Stouffer in the IndyCar series, but taking his a good crack tonight.
Yeah, Stover ran in the Cup Series last year in the Dynasty Racing League. I think he ran in the Winter Series, the Winter Truck Series here at the end of last year. So definitely no stranger to these ovals, but he is a very good road racer in those Indy cars, that's for sure.
Oh,
Oh, and the
Springer
99 is Springer off the wall, yeah. Looks like the
Keeps
85
going.
of Sidarius Jackson just let off. Didn't want to get into the back of him, but Cy Jackson is kind of diving into the inside, going into every corner. I don't know if he really wants to make a move or if he's just coasting at this point.
Well, he's making him think about it, that's for sure. See a little right front damage to Springer's truck after that bounce off the wall.
And there goes the 85 of Cy Jackson. Trying to get to the inside of Springer. Hopefully he doesn't coast up into him. You just can't get that run off the corner. Like I said, these corners are so big and sweeping that you really have to use the entire track on your exit. And Cy is doing just that, but it's not going to allow him to make the pass on Springer if he can't hold the truck down.
Yeah, that exactly is why it's so hard to pass, because you need the whole entire racetrack off the corner. Plus, these corners are really loose off as well, so track position is going to be a premium tonight.
Yeah, this looks like the pack is still pretty tightly bunched up after the 68 there of Thomas Harmon, who is now caught up to Springer and Sidarius after all the battling they've been doing. Looks like we've got a bit of a gap there. Getty Buckner leading the pack. But all those guys still fairly close to one another. This is definitely one of those tracks. It's easy to be fast, but it's really, really, really difficult to be in the top 5. You find seconds in the weirdest of places on this racetrack. It's not one of those cut and dry, hey, if I hit my mark here and here, I'm good to go. You really have to steer the crap out of the truck. Oh, as we see the 68 of Harmon gets up into Sidarius Jackson there. Harmon keeps it together. And that's what I'm talking about. He's trying to make that pass. He's clearly a little bit quicker than the 85, but is the 85 just going to give the spot up? I think not.
Yeah, that could have been disastrous right there in front of most of the field. Good job by both drivers to keep it going straight.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a little while since I've been here in the broadcast booth. I actually just got all the paints up and running, so I'll be refreshing here in just a minute. Everybody's going to turn white for a second. You'll see paints glitching in and out, but I'll get everything sorted here in no time. I just want everyone to be able to see all the beautiful paints that these guys have.
Yeah, hopefully trading paints will cooperate as well. Because recently there's been some goofy stuff going on there. It's Harmon trying to reel Jackson back in and take another shot at him. Richard Springer, after scraping the wall off the 2 a few laps ago, he looks like he's still riding there in 4th.
Yeah, it looks like he's doing all right. I made contact with the soft part of that wall coming out of the corner just before it went back into straight wall there. So what is that, safer barrier I think he touched there on his way out of that corner. He seems to be fine. Doesn't look like he really damaged the truck too much, so we'll see if he can continue to hold on to his position or not, as the 68 of Harmon to the inside of Sidarius Jackson yet again. Just can't make the pass, man. The way out of these corners, you have to come all the way up next to that wall. If there's a truck there, what are you going to do? You got to let off.
And it's going to become even more difficult as the tires wear and the groove starts to move up. He's not giving up, though. Of course, he's not running this year's for points. He's a Cup driver, so if he wrecks, oh well, in his opinion. Yeah, here he goes. He's thought he might be able to get a run that time.
I think this might be the corner. We'll see what happens here. It looks like the 85 is going to stay up high. Doesn't try to pinch him down too hard, and Harmon might just get the pass after that. I don't know, it might take him another corner to finish off the 85 of Sidarius Jackson, but Jackson doesn't want to let him go easy because Buckner's going to try to ride the train and follow right behind the 68 of Harmon.
Yeah, but he clears them. And
Yeah, and the 85 actually stays patient, sticks behind the 68, doesn't try to dive it back inside. And the 85 manages to let him by without letting 2 or 3 trucks by. So good on Sidarius Jackson there. And nice work by Thomas Harmon.
well, nothing's changed up front. It's about a 2-second gap from Hustad back to Hebel. Stouffer still in third, 3 seconds back. Springer 4 seconds back, and then we got this battle.
These guys are still going at it. Sidarius was right on the bumper of the 68 of Harmon on the way into that corner, but I don't think he's going to have much for him. The entire pack behind those cars is all over the place, one right after another. See if I can get the camera to cooperate here and go back to where I wanted to. Having a little bit of lag issues with the broadcasting at the moment. See these guys, some of them... Oh, I'm sorry.
I was going to say, Chad Presnell, after starting last, after we had documented didn't get a qualifying lap in, he's already made his way up to 14th, just past Dakota Wilkins. He's gained 12 spots in the first 18 laps here.
Yeah, you guys see him there in the back of this pack, or 1 or 2 cars away from the back of this pack here. He has made huge strides already, but again, he did the same exact thing last night, and he did it more than once, so not surprised at all by the results so far here from Mr. Presnell. How long do we got on a fuel run here, Taylor? Is it similar to what we saw in the other cars? You looking at 45, 50? You know, do you think everybody can go 50 in these trucks and make it a 1 pit stop race?
I would think so, although, we got a truck into the wall back there. It's Steven Sims.
Yeah, Steven Sims in that dark blue number 79 there, bounces off the wall, wiggles a little left and right, and is able to get the truck underneath him.
Where Steven last week, after winning the pole, and had a really good chance to win at Chicago until late race slide put him back further at the back end of the top 10.
Yeah, happens to the best of them. You saw Eric Wolf last night with his little turn. Was racing well all evening. I think he was actually the pole sitter and got sideways in the middle of one of these corners. So as these things get up closer to that 50 lap mark on tires, they're not the easiest to control. I think it was Martin Wenzel made mention of his tires being at 17% on Monday night when he came in for that first pit stop, which is just insane. So
yeah, I remember that. I was like, wow. So I remember the first run in the Grand National race, mine was, I think, 40 or so on the right front.
Yeah, and there's some of these tracks, man, you get down to 90%, and you feel like you can't control it anymore. I don't want to know what it's like riding on 20% tires. Jeffrey Meyer there in the 50 and the 6 of Clay Phillips. Those guys tend to race around each other a lot for whatever reason.
Yeah, they just seem to be like magnets for whatever
they
reason.
really are. I don't know what it is, and then they race each other so hard, and one taps the other, or one taps the car in front of them, and it collects the other, and then, we got to see it all in the boxing ring after the race is over, but both of them definitely hard racers. I'm sure neither one ever means to get into one another, just, they tend to race around each other a lot, and they both give it all they've got, so.
Yeah, it is kind of just coincidental as we see Presnell closing in on these two just outside the top 10.
Yeah, Presnell, again, doing a great job. Getty Buckner falling back just a little bit, sits in 7th. Actually, I guess he hasn't fallen back. He's still holding that front of this pack position now that the pack's kind of strung out a little bit. Cy Jackson got passed, of course, by Sidarius Thomas. Getty Buckner right behind him, but now you see the 91 there of Andrew Marsh trying to go to the outside of Getty Buckner. We'll see if Buckner dares pull up in front of him. I don't think he's going to. One of these times around here, Marsh is just going to take it coming off the corner, but looks like there's a train coming right behind that, and yep, Getty Buckner tucks right up in there. Doesn't want to let these guys go around in that, one right after another, that's for sure. Chad Presnall gets past the 6th there of Clay Phillips. He's up another position, so he's up to 10th now. That's crazy, man. Let's look at Chad Presnall here. Man, my thing is lagging like crazy. I'd love to show you guys the current driver information of Chad Presnall, but doesn't really want to allow that at the moment. Well, there's the information for Jeffrey Meyer. He started in an 11th, currently sits in the 9th position.
Well, here comes Presnall to his inside.
There we go. Now we got Presnall up there. He started in the 26th position, so starting 26th, currently runs in 9th. If he can complete the pass on Jeffrey Meyer, he does get around him, and I don't think it's long before he reels in Getty Buckner here either, Taylor.
It's just making it look so easy the way he's cutting through this field.
Oh, it's really crazy, man. You know, the thing about it, right, is if you get up next to one of these guys, we've already talked about how hard it is to pass here. You really have to, you got to burn up your tires. You have to oversteer the truck, and you have to burn up tires in order to get around these guys. That's the only way to do it. You know, yeah, maybe the back, you know, 5, 6, 10 guys at the most. You can pass them just on sheer getting, you know, out of the brake or getting into the brake at the right time, getting out of it, back into the gas at the right time. But after that, it's too hard to pass just on that alone. You're going to have to burn the tires up. You're going to have to oversteer the truck a little bit, but hold on to it. And for him to pass, what, 17 people at this point is just phenomenal in 28 short laps here at Kentucky. As we have William Wingfield down on pit road already. I don't know if that was a planned pit stop.
Yeah, it looks like he's got some damage to the right front, but you see him getting left side tires.
These guys all still running in tight formation here. The 91, the 85, the 03 of Buckner. The 91 was able to get around Sidarius Jackson. Looks like Getty's going to try to do the same, but Chad Presnall is knocking at the door. Let's go back up front, see how our leaders are doing. It jumps all the way around the track as Wade Hustad there running in first is kind of in a league of his own at the moment. Jeremy Hebel just behind him, and Chris Stouffer followed by Richard Springer. Both of those guys knocking on the doorstep of Hebel. So Wade Hustad looks like maybe the sole survivor right now, the only guy who can't be touched, but the next 4 guys behind him in pretty tight formation back here.
Yeah, Stouffer and Springer are still going at it for 3rd and 4th.
I feel like Hebel hasn't been able to gap them. I think he had more of a gap earlier than he does now. Wade Hustad is just running away with it, but Hebel doesn't seem like he's able to.
Got about a full straightaway on him, pretty much. Oh, Springer sideways through the grass.
Wow, he collects
going
it
straight
right across the start-finish line. Hopefully he didn't do too much damage to the truck there. He's definitely nervous. You can see how little speed he's carrying as he goes through this corner now. Let's go back and check that out real quick. One more time. We're going to watch Richard Springer here. Oh, man, just coming off of that corner yet again. I mean, what are you going to do?
Oh, and now we got another one through the grass on the front stretch live.
Let's watch Springer one more time.
No, that's Sidarius Jackson.
Yeah, all these guys are running up front. Here's Springer just trying to stay off the wall, overdrives it just a hair. What an awesome save here by Richard Springer. Amazing save there on that Lumber Liquidators Toyota Tundra.
And he's still running 5th as we speak, despite that little off-track excursion. Although Cy Jackson doesn't look like he was quite as lucky, although he is still. Let's see, here's the scoring updates. He's 11th.
Yes, Sidarius Jackson definitely lost a couple of positions there. He had he was being caught slowly but surely there by Chad Presnall, Getty Buckner, Clay Phillips, and Jeffrey Meyer, but solidified them passing him by getting loose.
And now for second, now that Stouffer doesn't have to worry about Springer anymore, he's run down Jeremy Hebel, and it's only about 4/10 of a second between those two for second place.
Yeah, it looks like you just needed the track to clear up a little bit. Sometimes you go racing in that rear view mirror and, you know, you let the truck that's right behind you kind of get the best of you.
Thomas Harmon up in fourth place as he moves around the lap truck of Cody Gatsky.
Yeah,
23.
The number 68 came back to the DRL a little late this season. Definitely has shown what he's got since he's been back here. Comfortably sits in the top 5 in most of our races.
Yeah, he's not really one to really dominate these races, but he's certainly a contender when it comes down to throw the checkered flag.
Oh, now we see Richard Springer gets a little loose up there again on the high side. He's got a couple cars knocking at the door. You got Andrew Marsh and Chad Presnall there in 7th, all the way up to 7th there in the number 55. Right on his tail. We'll see if he lets the nerves get the best of him. You know, after you have a little bit of a tailspin like he had earlier, definitely makes him, you know, he's being extra cautious. And what you see a lot of times is that guy will get up next to that wall, and instead of making the overcorrection, they'll just run into the wall. So hopefully we don't see that out of Richard Springer. Seems to have gathered his confidence back and is handling that number 99 truck all right.
Yeah, he's not really one that gets really, flustered. I mean, he usually is able to keep his composure pretty well. And the truck still doesn't look all that messed up, despite 2 really hairy moments for him.
Yeah, I mean, touching a wall, getting super sideways by almost touching a wall.
Oh, as we look back, looking at Jeremy Hebel right now, looked like that was just trading paints acting up on me. It looked like he had some damage, but need to get cleared up. As Stouffer's still now just 0.3 of a second back of him.
Speaking of trading paints, I've been trying to get an opportunity to refresh these things. We're going to go to a quick commercial break, guys. We should be seeing some green flag pit stops coming up here in just a minute. And while we're on commercial, I will have updated paints. Hopefully everybody won't be white by the time we get back, but
yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, we're going to go to a quick commercial. We will be right back with more Mile and a Half Kentucky action here on DRL TV. And we're back, boys and girls. Wade Hustad still out front. Christopher has reeled in Jeremy Hebel here in second place. I don't know on these old tires. No way he's going to be able to make that pass. We'll see if he can get something to happen here. We'll go back and look at Richard Springer, who sits in fourth there in the 99. Still hasn't gotten nervous enough to let the 55 of Presnall around him. But again, Presnall starts in the 26th position all the way up to fifth. Awesome racing by him tonight.
Yeah, very impressive. And while we were away, Thomas Harmon, while we left, he was running fourth. He found his way into the outside wall for turn 2, and he's back to seventh right now.
That's that really broadcaster curse again, Taylor.
His truck.
Yeah, I talk good about him, and then he goes and does something like that. We got Steven Sims pulls into the pits there in the 79.
This might... where was he running? He was running 21st last time. So this might be... I'm still trying to see if these guys will stretch it to at least lap 50, so they would at least wouldn't have to make another stop for fuel.
Yeah, you would think that's the goal. Martin Wenzel makes his way down pit road as well, sits in 23rd currently.
I mean, I guess these guys' handling is that far off that they feel like they need to get in there now.
Well, and again, you know, a lot of them feel once that caution comes out, if and when that caution comes out, maybe that additional caution will come out afterwards, because that was just a standard pit stop there for Steven Sims. We'll see if Martin Wenzel, I don't know, Martin Wenzel's hanging around in pit road a little bit longer than usual. He might have some extra damage there to the truck, or something happened that we are unaware of, but he's been down pit road for a good 30 seconds now, so...
Yeah, I see some damage to the front end of his truck, and he's still sitting there currently, so...
why don't we grab Martin Wenzel and pull him in here and see what happened?
I'm also looking at his ping is also relatively high, so...
Martin Wenzel, you got a copy?
Yeah.
Hey, it's Ryan up in the booth. Martin, what happened there, man? You're sitting down on pit road. We didn't get to see what happened.
Basically fell asleep.
Fell asleep at the wheel?
Fell asleep. My wife walked in, kind of distracted. going so slow out there that it's like I'm just kind of dozing off. No
Gotta
speed,
love it.
So, yep.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I mean, how do you feel about Kentucky in general? Did you get to run it at all this week?
I mean, it's fun. I got a hang of it. I mean, I loved it last year. Last year was great, and then they changed everything. This year it wasn't as good, but I did a B car race early in the week during the after our league races, and got about 6 laps in and just could not turn the thing. But then I did a few more B races, did the NIS, did the trucks, and felt good. But I'm just getting slower and slower as the season goes on in all these series here in our league. Guys are just getting really good now.
Yeah, the competition's definitely getting more and more stiff as time goes on. Are you done for the night, Martin?
Yeah, probably. I'm getting passed by guys that used to be really slow, and now it's just they're just pulling away every time. It's like, okay.
Gotta love it when everyone improves at a faster clip than you. It's kind of stinks, but is what it is. Hopefully we'll see you back again next week at Eldora, man.
Yep.
Cycle of green flag pit stops have begun. We've seen Chris make his way on the pit road. Here comes Getty Buckner. Oh, Dakota Wilk pit road. Locked it up a little too hard, and around he goes.
Yeah, Dakota Wilkins there in the 44. He's able to spin his truck around. Oh, man. Almost gets smashed in the rear end by the 26 there. 26 of Daniel Holloway almost blasts him, but good job by the 44 to get flipped around that quickly. Yeah, Wade Hustad just pulls down on the pit road. See if anybody makes a mistake here in the pits. Andrew Marsh gets on and off nice and quickly. Getty Buckner with a 14.1. No problems there.
Comes Presnall.
Thomas Harmon with a little bit of a slow time, a 16.89. Might have taken a couple seconds of repairs there. Robbie Armstrong on and off quickly. Daniel Holloway, Dakota Wilkins. See what Chad Presnall's time is. Looks like Presnall might have taken a second or two of repairs as well. A 16.62 issues in the pit box for him. Wade Hustad on and off quick with a 15.08.
Now Hebel and Springer are still out there, along with Jeffrey Meyer.
Yeah, it makes you wonder. I mean, how long are they going to stay out there? Are they hoping for a caution here as everything cycles through? You got guys pulling on the track, guys pulling off the track, slower cars around faster cars. At this point, with only those three left on the track with those old tires. There we go. We now see Jeremy Hebel's coming down. Ooh, getting a little squirrely, trying to get on the brakes and slow down enough. I don't know. Hebel might have got a speeding penalty right there.
We'll know momentarily whether he has to spend any extra time. Springer stays out another lap. Here comes Meyer.
We're watching Jeremy Hebel and Jeffrey Meyer's time closely here to see if they're serving any penalties. It looked like PJ O'Leary there had about a 30-second pit stop.
Hebel box. That's going to be costly.
What happened?
Overshot his box and had to back up. Let's see. Pretty quick stop for Hebel. Looks like to avoid getting a speeding penalty.
Yeah, looks like he's fine. The exact same time for him and Jeffrey Meyer there in pit road with the 15.48.
And Cy Jackson still have yet to pit.
Yeah, Cody Gatsky's down on pit road now. But yeah, we got the 99 there of Richard Springer and the 85 of Sidarius Jackson, both still on the track. Here comes Springer now. Oh, and he's getting squirrely.
Hang on.
And there it goes.
Oh, he might slide back up in the racetrack.
And that's where the caution comes out. Richard Springer
he needed
hurts
a caution,
himself just a little bit. Not the way you wanted it to happen, but he'll be able to keep his lead lap position there at least.
Well, I don't know, because as far as he might have come down pit road when there, so I'm not sure how race control is going to
we'll see what
go about
happens
that.
there. Looks
Cy
like
Jackson
he's
now
drive right through pit road here to get back on the track in order to try and stay on the lead lap, but with Cy Jackson still being out there, I don't know how it's going to work here. We'll see if that works out for Richard Springer or not. Definitely not what he intended to do, that's for sure.
Well, this is a really good break for Sidarius Jackson, because I think these guys have run long enough that they probably might need to come back and get tires again. As well as Octavio Silveira, he also had stayed out and not pitted yet. So this could be a huge break for those two. Looks like Chad Presnall, I guess he was the lucky dog. We see him go around the pace car and catch him back up.
Yeah, that could definitely pay off for Presnall, because some of these guys are going to have to take the waiver round and not come in. You know, if he wants to, you know, he can just come back in and get tires again. But that just means, again, Chad Presnall, thanks to Sidarius Jackson staying out there, he's going to have to fight his way back through a pack of cars.
Well, looks like Octavio Silveira is getting out of pit road in front of Cy Jackson.
We'll see how this field shakes up here. I don't know exactly what's going to happen, to be honest with you.
Yeah, Cy just now is leaving his box. He might add some more damage to repair on his end.
Well, you know, I talked about how Chad Presnall might get screwed there because Sidarius Jackson decided to stay out as long as he did. But I think Presnall might come away in first here.
Well, he benefited in one way as far as getting the free pass to get back on the lead lap, and
oh, there he goes.
The most important part there, he's able to pit.
Yep. Well, that's it would be
While
silly
these guys
of these guys not to
to
come
take
back
the
down and pit a second time, you know? Unless you are forced to take that waiver round, might as well come down and freshen up the tires one more time, and that way you make it only 43 laps to the end here. So
Well, Chris Stouffer won the race off pit road, followed by Hustad, Silvera, Jackson, and Richard Springer after all going to be fifth. So, although he's been playing with fire most of this race, he's still up in the top 5.
Yeah, awesome work there by Wade Hustad. Had fallen back a little bit, now finds his way back into second place after a nice quick pit stop. So, Chris Stouffer, we talked about him earlier. Awesome IndyCar driver. And he now has fresh tires and is sitting in the first position. So,
And he been down before that pit stop exchange began. So he certainly has a strong truck.
breaking up a bit on me there,
Yes.
Taylor, like you're lagging. I don't know what's going on. So we had a couple guys that got the excuse my language, shit end of the stick. Andrew Marsh there, he sits in 7th. Clay Phillips 8th. Jeremy Hebel 9th. Getty Buckner 10th. Eric Weatherholtz 11th, and Matt Kleinschmidt in 12th. All of those guys have at least 6 or 7, 8 laps on their tires now, and they were forced to take that wave around. Actually, that goes all the way back to Dakota Wilkins in 18th position. So currently only Richard Springer,
12.
Fresnel, Silviera, Sidarius Jackson, Hustad, and Stouffer. Those are the only guys inside that top 20 that have fresh tires.
And now that we've gotten first caution, and now that we got about 7 to about so that have to take the wave around with old tires, be a recipe for some more cautions to come out.
Oh, come on now. Don't go cursing everybody, Taylor.
I'm not trying to be a pessimistic. I'm just trends of at least the last couple in that.
Well, I would say this is definitely one of the better truck races that's been put on here lately. Seems like we've had just a recipe for disaster these last few weeks. These guys really coming out and showing they know how to race around one another. So we're about to go green. The pace car pulls off. Everyone's not tightened up. Wow, look at everybody stuck on that inside line. They had to take the longest line because of all the wave rounds. Oh, and another caution comes out immediately. I don't know if that was a man.
Yeah, Martin Wenzel, the race control, has thrown the caution flag because the field was not tightened up like they would have hoped so.
And the caution flag immediately comes back out. Some of these guys riding faster than others around the track. Hopefully nobody runs into one another here acting silly.
And that's why I haven't gotten the word yet.
Yeah, everybody seems to be
Hustad and Jackson are still running close to full speed.
And yeah, I mean Hustad's riding down in the apron still. I don't know what's going on here.
This is really sure what's going on here.
Is the caution actually out, or do we have a little bit of a graphical glitch here? What's going on?
Oh well. Apparently, they're still. Well, now the pace car is in turn 3. What? Yeah, I'm not sure what the deal is here.
These guys are still just racing around the track full speed.
Caution.
There's the caution.
Now
again.
it says caution, caution.
That was.
Now we just gotta hope and pray here that Wade Hustad doesn't get kind of screwed over by the pace car not being able to catch up, because he should have to slow down. I mean, they just blew past the pace car a minute ago.
I wonder what's going through Chris Stouffer's mind right now, though.
I don't know. This is definitely a weird one. I'm not sure what happened with the caution at all there, or why the drivers on the track didn't hear it go off. I'm hoping we don't see a bunch of black flag penalties here, as we're going to see Wade Hustad is going to come to a crawl trying to let... Oh, no, he just catches up to the back of the pace car. Huh. I have no idea, man. We saw it up here in the broadcast booth. That caution flag was thrown immediately at the start-finish, and these guys did 2 whole laps at full speed before they realized the caution was out. So,
yeah, that's...
Some sort of graphical glitch there with iRacing. I don't know if it threw it for the viewers but didn't throw it for the drivers or what.
Well, I saw on my end that Martin Wenzel, as part of the race control, threw it kind of like right as the green was coming out. I don't know if they kind of got their wires crossed in some way, but
Yeah, that should have been just a delayed caution, and maybe he
no.
delayed it 1 second too late. So who knows what happened
Well,
there?
anyway, we got that sure helped out those wave around trucks. They got their caution that they needed.
Yeah, it did. Now they're going to be able to get that free pit stop that they needed. They can be on the same tires as all these other guys, and it's not really going to hurt Wade Hustad for running around full speed like he did there. So, as you said, Taylor, I mean, cautions breed cautions, right? But I mean, that one was of no fault of theirs. I think what definitely happened is Martin Wenzel, the race control, he had to have clicked the button for extend caution flag, but he clicked it right as it went green. So rather than extending it, it showed us that it extended it, but none of the drivers saw a caution come out. So then he had to throw a manual caution a lap and a half later. So.
Well, actually, I saw on my end that he disconnected, and that Kean Riley Howell, the other race control guy for this race, he put the caution out. So, yeah, figure that one out.
Yeah, maybe right as he threw it, he got DC'd or something. Who knows? That's iRacing for you. It's not going to be perfect. You can take little glitches like that as kind of a, you know, kind of what you get in real life with things like mechanical failures and loose lug nuts and guys having to come down for black flags and things like that. So, who are these drivers out here in front of the 29 of Wade Hustad? We got the 82 of Chris James on 12-lap old tires. Octavio Silveira, he's on 7-lap old tires. I don't think either one of those gentlemen is actually going to stay out on the track, but we will see.
Well, Silveira, I think his tires are still pretty much fresh because he got the caution when Springer spun out. He hadn't pitted, so. No, needless to say, a really strange set of circumstances here.
Yeah, definitely weird. It's going to take him a few laps just to get this whole thing tightened up. The 29 of Hustad is kind of staying behind the 82 there of Chris James, so he seems like he's in the right spot. James and Silveira both had a chance to go down pit road there, and it looks like Thomas Harmon is looking for a wave around here.
Yeah, he's in front of Silveira and behind the pace car, so. This, folks, we're trying our best because we're still not 100% sure.
Yeah, I don't really know what happened there, guys. Trying to keep you as informed as possible. Hopefully these guys can tighten things up and get everything on the right track before this goes green again. I would assume as soon as you see the 68 there of Harmon come around the pace car, all these other cars are going to tighten up and be too wide again, get back into regular formation. The only question I have is why would the 63 and the 82 stay out here? Great chance for them to move up positions, but we're only on lap 65 out of 100, Taylor. I don't see them having the tires or the ability, period. There's no way they have the speed to keep these guys behind them.
No, they're certainly going to have their hands full, that's for sure, especially with Wade and Stouffer and Jackson and Presnall and everybody else with fresh ones.
Story of the night there, the 55 of Presnall. If it wasn't for those two trucks staying out, he'd be sitting pretty in third right now. So watch the 55 to try to make a quick move around the 85 of Sidarius Jackson and fight his teammate for a lead here in Wade Hustad.
Yeah, those two certainly know each other very well as teammates in this league.
Yeah, I know they provide each other with a ton of information week in and week out, try to help each other out, work on lines together. I know they do a lot of practice, and they tend to run the same races week in and week out. So, you know, Presnall, for whatever reason, he wanted to fight from the back all week. But
yeah, well, apparently we're going to try to sort this out. Oh, Octavio holds the field down.
They're tightening up.
Still hasn't gone yet. Now the green is out.
Wow, the 63 just decided to wait until the green came out. Everybody thought he was going to do the quick jump. He didn't do it, and that actually hurts Presnall. He's got Jeremy Hebel to the inside, Christopher, or no, that's the number 3 on the outside of him, and Presnell kind of gets the shaft on that one. He gets shuffled back quite a bit.
Hustad was the beneficiary of Chris James having to slow down and let Silvera go back by him, and he's making a move for the lead.
Yeah, now we got, Hustad right to the inside of him. Sidarius Jackson trying to pass the 82 of Chris James on the outside. This is going to get hairy, man. You talked about cautions breeding cautions. These guys all want these positions. There's cars on older tires out here, and it's starting to look ugly. They're all catching the 63 quick.
Comes Stouffer. He's going to get by him on the outside.
I think that was a big mistake by the 63 and the 82 there, is trying to stay out like that. It's causing a lot of issues. Chad Presnell and the 1 of Jeremy Hebel racing side by side. Awesome driving by those two.
They're almost leaning on each other right through there. I was trying to back onto the pavement. And Silvera right now holding up Presnell. See if Chad makes it 3 wide into turn 3. Looks like he's thinking about it. There he goes.
Oh, and Jeremy Hebel goes around.
Hebel. Hang
Can
on,
he collect
Jeremy.
it? Oh, he tries to collect it.
Oh,
Gets hit in the rear by the 12 of
and there
Weatherholtz.
goes the field again.
Man.
Andrew Marsh got involved. Weatherholt's truck smoking very badly.
That was crazy. Weatherholtz plowed him in the rear end. I'm sure trying to stay out of him, but there's only so much you can do. If you let off the gas, that car just coasts up through that corner. And Hebel did an awesome job of holding on to it, but only so much you can do, man. Wow, that was insane. Let's go back and watch that one more time. Try to watch here from right behind Hebel and see what he saw. If I can get my program to work here for me. And Weatherholtz is smoking badly.
Yeah, I'm afraid that might be the end of his night. Comes the field down pit road again, but Robbie Armstrong stays out, perhaps just to lead a lap. He's been doing that past couple weeks, getting bonus points.
Go back and watch this from Hebel's point of view one more time. Oh, we see him just barely. I mean, he just started to take the corner, and then, you know, the 63 was right there. And, you know, to kind of come to
the slightest.
The 12 of Weatherholtz really didn't have anywhere to go. So, I mean, he had a car just to the inside of him. Presnell had taken the inside of the 63 as Hebel took the outside of the 63. So the 63 felt kind of pinned in that middle line. And Hebel was just coming down. He comes down into the 63. Nothing you can do there. 12 had nowhere to go because he had Clay Phillips and the 99 of Richard Springer on the inside of him. So too many guys trying to take it too wide there. Let's go see how much damage Richard Springer got off of that after having an awesome race so far here tonight. Looks like that might have hurt him pretty bad.
Yeah, he's still sitting on pit road as we speak. Tell you what was the beneficiary out of that was Octavio Silvera, even though he was kind of in the transpired there, because he's worth with the fresh tires. So
I want to watch that one more time from Richard Springer's cockpit. See him heading around the corner here, just a mess of trucks in front of him. Gets down to the inside here, the 6 of Clay Phillips. Nice strong run off that corner. And here's where everything starts to go wrong. He sees the turning of the 1 of Jeremy Hebel. Nothing he can do to avoid it, and Clay Phillips has just turned right down into him.
Yep. Yeah.
Man.
Just a victim again.
That's tough.
Looks like Phillips actually got out of that relatively unscathed, but certainly could have been a lot worse.
You know, I know, you know, after that restart, right, the 63
hit.
decided to stay out, the 82 decided to stay out, probably poor decisions on their part, but I'd like to, you know, if there was anybody to quote-unquote place blame on there, I mean, it has to be the number one of Hebel. I mean, he tries to make the turn. It was 3 wide, and the 63, you know, he had another truck in front of him. I don't know if maybe the spotter there of the one of Hebel didn't let him know that it was 3 wide or not, but it's a tough situation to be in, man.
Well, the way he was going to be, he was kind of in a no-win situation there, because if he had kind of gone in straighter, he would have been up in the marbles.
Yeah,
and
he wouldn't have
really
been able
gone.
to turn anyway, right?
Yeah.
So
he was kind of.
So what do? You give up 4 positions,
SOL right
or you
there.
hope that you can hold it right next to the 63 and make the corner safely. So that's just not the first time we've seen he will run around there tonight, being, you know, within inches of the truck next to him. I don't remember who it was he was racing right next to a little while ago, but same thing. Awesome racing on.
Yep, that's right.
Awesome racing on his part tonight, but it just didn't go his way there. As
we got one to go here.
Wide was a bad idea.
And we're gonna go green.
Yeah, lap 73. We're going to head to lap 74 here as the pace car pulls down pit road. I'm going to leave this restart to you, Taylor. I will be back in just a brief second. Thank you to all of our viewers for joining us tonight. This is the Dynasty Racing League's Winona Road Truck Series. Glad to have you here as a part of the family of DRL. Let's see if Mr. Presnall can make this thing happen. 2 in a row? Is he going to do it? 2 in a row, Taylor?
Well, he just might.
Let's find out, buddy.
Pace car is about to dive down. He's off right away. Teammates 1 and 2 as we restart with 27 laps to go. Silvera getting challenged on the outside by Stouffer, and Stouffer clears him. Dakota Wilkins up in the 5th after spinning on pit road under green. Perhaps took 2 tires, not sure exactly, but either way, he's on the back tailgate of Silvera and trying to squeeze to the outside. And he might try to get a run off this corner. Here he goes, diving to the inside. And he should clear him getting into turn 3. And outside Darius Jackson and Getty Buckner going at it. Behind those guys for about 6th and 7th. Oh, Jackson comes down the side draft a little bit. Top 3. Presnall, Hustad, and Stouffer are all single file, but behind them it is a mess as they are almost 3 wide. And Buckner and Matt Kleinschmidt up into the top 10 for the first time tonight. Comes in here second in points. Everyone. And now teammates duking it out for the lead up front. Hustad right on the bumper of Presnall.
This is getting interesting, Taylor. We'll see if Hustad has what it takes to get this thing back, man.
Christopher lurking in case these teammates, for whatever reason, get into each other.
I mean, they both race tough. Hustad's not just going to let Presnall run away with it, that's for sure. But on the same token, Presnall's not just going to let him have the position. So he knows Stouffer's knocking at the door.
Wait is intense up for about 5th place. Here comes Buckner underneath Silvera.
Yeah, Buckner to the inside. Clay Phillips trying to follow him. Wow, the 6 of Clay Phillips almost into the back of the 03 there at Getty Buckner. I think I think the 63 of Octavio barely beat him across the line, but Buckner is now around him. We'll see if he can get the run off this corner to clear the 63 or not. He's got Clay Phillips pushing from behind. Just behind Octavio Silvera, we have Sidarius Jackson in the 85 giving him a little shove. So,
How about Clay Phillips? I mean, a minute ago we saw him sideways in the middle of that last wreck, and here he is challenging for 5th and 6th.
yeah, now Sidarius Jackson pulls down. He's got no allies here. Just following whoever seems to be the fastest at the time. These guys running the low line, I feel like they had a little bit of a disadvantage, but they're making it work. Clay Phillips now passes Getty Buckner, but Buckner puts the switch on him, goes back to the inside, has the 85 of Sidarius Jackson pushing him from behind. Jackson moves back up the track to try to stay behind the 6th there. I don't know. I think Jackson's kind of got the line there. He's running that middle groove where Getty Buckner keeps trying to take the low groove.
He's certainly taking advantage of it, as you see just in the back of these guys up in the 11th place. They're 3 wide behind him. Robbie Armstrong and Thomas Harmon and Daniel Holloway. Meanwhile, up front, Hustad continues to lurk in his teammate's wake right there, right on his tailgate.
You see the 29 there, Wade Hustad, all over the back of Chad Presnall. Christopher still lurking just behind him. You've got the 44 of Dakota Wilkins. We haven't seen him up towards the front much tonight, but he currently runs in 4th. Hoping that a mistake is made by one of these top 3 drivers. We're on lap 82 out of 100 here, so not much longer to go. I mean, you know, a good mistake by one of these top few drivers, and there's plenty of opportunity for these guys to capitalize here still.
And Wilkins, he came in here at that point at their last race last time in the top 5 in points.
You're still breaking up on me, Taylor. I don't know what's going on, man.
I think Houston's just content to ride behind his teammate.
Yeah, and he's riding behind him all right. I mean, they might as well be attached with a towing wire.
Like tandem drafting like a Daytona or something.
Just out there for a leisurely Sunday drive. You know, you can't see anything but the tailgate of the guy in front of you. And Hustad does it, man. He pushed right up in his rear end, and he's going to try to take Presnall on the inside, see if he can complete the pass. Presnall's obviously going to get the nice quicker run. This is all going to come down to the truck in front of them. They're quickly approaching that dark blue car. I think that's Steven Sims there.
Steven Sims, yep. And meanwhile, Christopher is loving this. He's saying, come on, guys, right? As the Sims are away, just fine.
Yeah, he wants them to keep burning their stuff up, you know? Let him move up little by little. Hustad, Presnall's just pinning him down there. Awesome on Presnall. Stays off the wall. He gets the better run out of the corner. Hustad's trying to make it happen, but he can't complete the pass as of yet. So difficult to pass here at Kentucky. We've seen it already tonight. There's been multiple guys in this situation who've gotten the truck sideways. See if these two can hold on to it.
Well, he was within just an inch or so for clearing him that time, though.
Yeah, and Hustad still keeps taking this apron down here on the front stretch. But he's still unable to pull up in front of the 55 there, Presnall. You know, I don't know if he wants to be in front of the 55 of Presnall, because then Presnall can do the same thing that he did to him. Get right up on his bumper, shove him through the corner, and then try to make the pass on the inside, so. Presnall makes up a little ground there in 4. Might be able to clear the 29 at Hustad, but no, they're still right next to one another. Awesome driving here for first.
Oh, this is fantastic. And meanwhile, despite these guys fighting as hard as they are, Christopher is still not really lost. I mean, he's maintaining the gap, but he's not in as much as I thought he might.
And I don't even know if he's maintaining the gap, just barely, if so. I mean, he's still, I think, losing a tenth or almost a tenth every time we go around here, so. Only 12 laps to go here. And these two guys are battling it out.
Oh, man, just needs just a hair more of racetrack right there. And
he's trying so hard. Fresnel's giving her everything she's got.
Boy, every time I see Hustad diving in that hard, I keep thinking, now he's got it this time, but nope, Fresnel keeps fighting. As we're coming up on 10 laps to go.
I'm almost at a loss for words right now, Taylor. This is just crazy watching these guys race next to each other like this.
I mean, this is incredible stuff. Hustad with the advantage that time.
Here it is. Here it is. And Hustad finally takes the position away from the 55 of Fresnel. Man. That was crazy. I mean, that took him, what did that was at least 8 laps of side-by-side racing.
6 laps. Oh! It almost looked like he got a little bump entering the corner.
We'll come back to these guys in just a second. Let's go back and look and see what Fifth on Back is doing here. Again, these guys still in a tight pack. You got the 44 of Dakota Wilkins there in front of the 6 of Clay Phillips. Getty Buckner being taken to the outside by Sidarius Jackson in the 85. Big line of cars behind them. Jeremy Hebel's now shuffled back. He sits in the 10th position. Just inside of him is Thomas Harmon. And the 82 there of Chris James, who had started out front earlier. Chris James on older tires than, well, he was in that last restart before we had that caution come out. Was able to maintain his position. Well, we did have the 63 there of Octavio Silveira after that other caution. He didn't come away from that one very well. He sits back in the 14th position now. Looks like Getty Buckner was able to clear the 85 of Sidarius okay. Oh, and there goes Clay Phillips to the inside.
Wilkins and Phillips. Boy, that was close there.
Clay Phillips made the easy pass.
Well, that was close off of turn 2, though, between those guys.
Yeah, Clay Phillips right in his bumper, quickly dipped to the inside and makes the pass quite handily.
Oh, Wilkins. Now he's getting a challenge from Buckner.
Yeah, here comes Buckner to the inside there in the pink 03. Almost gets to the inside and stays there, but has to pull back up behind the 44 of Dakota Wilkins. Definitely liking that lower line. Wilkins seems content running up there on the high line. I don't know how much longer it's going to work, though. These tires are getting old, and that wall sneaks up on the 44 quicker and quicker.
Well, we're coming to 5 to go this time, and now that he's Fresnel, he's starting to gap him ever so slightly.
Yeah, awesome fight there by Fresnel all the way up to second, actually all the way up to first, and then slowly had to give up that position to the 29 of Hustad. Looks like Hustad is running away with it now, but he hung around up there all night. Fresnel made the awesome run through the field for the second night in a row. 5 laps to go here at Kentucky.
And now the big battle is the battle to stay in the top 5 between Wilkins and Buckner and Harmon and Jackson.
Oh, Wilkins and Buckner gets into the back of him. I don't know if that was Buckner getting into him or not. The 44 is sent around. The caution flag comes out. Looks like the 85 of Sidarius Jackson might have benefited there. I don't know if he was around Getty Buckner or not when the caution flag flew, but let's go back and look from Getty Buckner's view and see if he actually got into the back of
Yeah, I'm not sure if there was contact or if he just got loose off there, but
Well, we're about to find out, Taylor. Go back to the instant
it's
replay here. We're going to see what Getty Buckner
nice to
saw
know
in front
for
of him.
sure.
Here's Getty Buckner riding along right behind the 44 here of Dakota Wilkins, coming out of 4. So these guys 100% throttle riding this close to one another. Getty Buckner's not into him yet, just easing off, trying to stay out of Wilkins. Oh, and Wilkins does. He lets off the gas
Yep,
just a hair. Getty
Little
Buckner
touch.
gets right into the back of him just slightly. And when you're in a corner, I mean, there's nothing left of these tires at this point anyway, so.
I mean,
nothing you
plus
can do going
them
on
were.
with the truck there.
I mean, plus they're racing for the top 5 to go. I mean, they're not going to cut each other any breaks there.
Oh no, I mean, you know, Getty Buckner didn't drive through him. It's not like he stayed in the gas the whole time. He was feathering it and trying to stay out of him, but I think Dakota Wilkins just let off just a hair too much, and that's what happens.
Now the key here is what happens the next time we come back around with the lights on the pace car. Because if we'll have a one-lap shootout, but if they stay on, the race will end under caution.
I'm trying to get my camera controls to work here. I'm still stuck on an in-car cam view of Getty Buckner as he cruises around behind the pace car. There we go. Back to a normal camera. See if we can get back to live action here. Lap 98 of 100. It's been an exciting race tonight. I mean, to watch Presnell come through the field like he did, very few cautions. Awesome racing by all these drivers this evening. A little different than what we've seen the last few weeks. It's kind of been caution-filled races as of late, but everybody here tonight showing what they're made of. Definitely a technical track. I mean, not the easiest to use up the whole track, but be able to keep the truck going straight. Not letting it get
see here,
sideways.
Light are staying on, so it appears that we're going to end this race under caution.
And that's going to be it for this evening, ladies and gentlemen. You got Wade Hustad finishes in first. Awesome race by Mr. Hustad. Chris Stouffer, as we mentioned earlier, he is
Hustad is
one of our Betty IndyCar drivers. He comes in third. Chad Presnell, after that amazing fight through the field, claims the second position tonight.
Clay Phillips in fourth, and Sidarius Jackson gets the top 5. The running driver who runs for points in this series.
Disappointing finish there by Jeremy Hebel. Comes back in ninth after getting sideways earlier. He is our points leader here in the Truck Series. Thomas Harmon, after early mistakes, he was able to come back up and finish in 7th. Good on him. Chris James, oh wow, Jeremy Hebel just rams the wall. I don't know what that's about.
Yeah, that was strange there. All right, tough break for Dakota Wilkins. He was racing for 5th there with Buckner, and Spin, he's going to wind up with an 18th place finish.
Let's go through and look at these unofficial results. We got Wade Hustad in first. Chad Presnell finishes second. Chris Stouffer in third. Clay Phillips finishes fourth. Cy Jackson comes in fifth. After leading a couple laps, it's going to be a great points race for him. Getty Buckner finishes in the 6th position. Thomas Harmon, 7th. Chris James finishes 8th in the 82. Jeremy Hebel comes in 9th. 10th goes to Matt Kleinschmidt. Got Robbie Armstrong comes in 11th. Daniel Holloway 12th. 13th goes to Jeffrey Meyer. 14th Octavio Silveira. David Wingfield, 15th. 16th is PJ O'Leary. 17th, after such an awesome showing early and leading a couple laps there, Richard Springer falls back to 17th in the 99. Dakota Wilkins getting tapped there by Getty Buckner towards the end of the race. He comes in 18th. Cody Gatsky, 19th. Andrew Marsh, 20th. Kip Galloway finishes in 21st. Steven Sims finishes 22nd. 23rd goes to William Wingfield. 24th, Eric Weatherholtz. 25th, Martin Wenzel. And 26th, Casey Drake. So, not a bad race, man. I mean, 21 drivers on the lead laps. Had some great action tonight. It was an absolute blast watching those two teammates in Wade Hustad and Chad Presnall run at the front of that pack there, side by side, for as long as they did.
That was quite a show, and I'm going to try to pull Wade in here.
Oh, as they both go sliding around together, teammates having a little fun on the track.
And that's their little signature move. Do a little drift action after the checkers.
Got to get the truck sideways a little bit, you know. Hey, why don't we pull Cy Jackson in here first? Try to find him and get him in here and get a quick chat with him. Actually, I got him right here.
Yep, he's in Bad Luck Racing. There he is.
Cy Jackson, you got a copy, sir?
Yes, I do.
Hey, man, it's Ryan up in the booth. Awesome race by you tonight. You're the first car that is in the truck series for points. You come in 5th position, so you claim the most points as far as this race is concerned. How do you feel after this one?
Well, I'm just glad I finally got my first top 5 in the league, and I'm kind of surprised that I was up here. I was expecting at least a top 10, hopefully, but I'll take a top 5 any day, and I'm just glad I made up more points on the championship leaders.
There you go, man. You're definitely comfortably in the chase so far. So long as you keep showing up, there's no doubt you're going to make it into that chase and be a contender here towards the end of this season. One of our lower I rating guys here in the truck series, and you're coming out every week and showing what you can do, man. It's been a pleasure to watch you race. You started in 5th tonight. You finished in fifth tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, can you really ask for much more? I mean, how do you feel about Eldora next week?
Not really looking forward to Eldora. I gotta get some practice in this week, but yeah, I'm surprised. I'm just glad I missed that wreck on the last caution. I was really nervous about, like, my heart rate went up after that wreck. I'm just surprised I missed the wreck, because either I was gonna get involved in it or just hope for the best.
Well, you were able to avoid it. You come away with the top 5, your first top 5 here in the DRL. Congratulations, man. Hopefully we'll see you next week. I hope you get in plenty of practice.
Yeah,
if you need any tips, man, I'm not too bad at Eldora myself. I'd be happy to help.
All right, thanks.
Have a good night, man.
Thanks, you too.
All right, now we're going to pull in his teammate, Clay Phillips.
Yeah, I don't remember where he was at. Hopefully I didn't move the wrong channel.
And he was also in Bad Luck Racing. He and Cy are teammates.
Oh, there's Clay Phillips. He's down in spotter number 3 chatting with James Pandoff. So let's go ahead and grab Chris Stouffer in the 07 and pull him in here.
Here he is. He's in race chat. Hey, do I got him? Yeah, here we go. Hey, Chris Stouffer, it's Taylor and Ryan in the booth. You got a copy, sir?
Yeah, guys.
Well, really strong showing tonight. P3. Tell us about your night. I know it had to be interesting watching those two teammates in front of you race it out for the win. Did you think you'd be able to catch them if they continued running side by side to the checkers?
Well, yeah, when I know when he was running them down there, I was just trying to conserve my tires a little bit for when they did get side by side, and then once they did, they were side by side for about 10 laps there, and there's just nothing I could do to catch them. You know, my hat's off to them. They were definitely the class of the field there.
Yeah, we saw, you know, we kind of predicted that you'd be able to catch up to them after the battle-in that they were doing, and you were either losing a 10th every time around, or you were staying right where you were every time around. It was crazy, man, watching those guys race next to each other like that and not losing any time to you. It was absolutely baffling to watch. But You stuck around up there all night. You started in fourth. You come away with a third place finish. You're kind of known for your Indy driving around here. I know you've been around with the DRL for quite some time. How does Kentucky feel this year compared to last? I mean, do you like the adjustments? Where iRacing is heading with these cars?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of fun. I remember back when you really had to wheel these things around the track, and I think they've came a long way. It feels a lot more like you would think it would, as far as having a car underneath you. And yeah, as far as Kentucky, I want to bring up, last night I just wasn't feeling it in that Cup race, and I think it showed. So it was nice to come out here tonight and kind of have a little bit of redemption.
There you go, buddy. Well, congratulations again on your third place finish. Can't wait to see you again next week. And I assume you're running tomorrow in the IndyCar?
Yeah, I should be there.
All right, man. We'll see you then. Have a great night.
All right.
Now we're going to go ahead and pull in Clay Phillips, who came in the fourth position. Going a little bit out of order here. Let's get him up in here. Clay Phillips, do you have a copy, sir?
Yeah, sir, I got you.
Hey, so we were talking early in the race. You were racing next to Jeffrey Meyer, I think sitting back there in 10th or 11th, and I made a couple comments to Taylor about how you guys seem to race around each other a lot, and small issues comes up, and things like, I don't know, one of you gets tapped or somebody in front of one of you gets tapped, and things get sideways, and then we got to hear about it in the boxing ring, and you were able to get away from all of that tonight. You come away with a top 4, man. How's it feel?
Yeah, it feels pretty good. I was hoping for a good finish like this. I believe this is my first finish of a non-points race, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, I did run into that little bit of trouble there in 3 and 4 with Hibble and all those guys running down in there, and wasn't too much checking up going on. So I did get a little bit of damage from that. I was a little worried with Getty and side areas. They were pretty quick there towards the end of that run, and I just didn't have that straightaway speed and the runoff. So I'm glad I was able to hold them off and get a 4th place finish. Pretty cool.
Well, believe it or not, there was a ton of checking up going on there. Hebel did everything he could to keep that truck underneath him. It was just a little bit too sideways, and right as he gathered it, Weatherholtz just barely couldn't stay out of him. I think he did everything he could, and you know as well as anybody, when you let off the gas in these things, they just plow up the track on you anyway. So, I mean, you fight back from, I don't want to say fight back, you come all the way from 23rd up to 4th. Did you mean to start that far back? You just have a tough qualifying run tonight.
No, I actually had a great qualifying lap going, and I don't know exactly what happened, but apparently I went off track. I don't know, coming down through here past the finish line, I didn't touch grass or the wall for that whole first lap, and then I cut right almost exactly where I'm at, but I went right through the grass, all 4 wheels, and I guess that's why the lap didn't count. I don't know for sure, but then that second one did count, which by then, I mean, I was already slowing up because I thought I had a quick lap going.
Right.
Yeah, that sounds strange.
Is what it is, I guess. You still come away with that top 5. That's all you can ask for, man. Congrats again, and hopefully we'll see you back again next week.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Thank you.
All right, man. Have a good night.
Thanks, you too.
All right, let's pull in Mr. Presnell here.
Chad Presnell, do you have a copy, sir?
Yeah, I got you, bud.
Hey, so 2 nights in a row. What are you doing, man? You trying to make this the Chad Presnell Racing League? Is that all we should be talking about is you, or what?
I'm gonna call it adversity both nights. None of that was intentional at all. Almost hit the wall out of forward last night, and didn't want to serve the black flag, so I just kind of checked up and rolled across the finish line. And said, that's better than having to stop and go. And then tonight, hit the wall coming out of 4, I believe it was. Didn't have enough time to get back around. So I certainly don't like. I mean, it's fun, but I don't like having to set myself back like that and dig.
Yeah, we saw you come across the start-finish line. I think just before it must have registered. Is what it is. I guess nothing you can do about it at this point. But both nights, you managed to fight your way up into first. What did it take? 10, 11 laps there to finally let Hustad around you?
Yeah, I wasn't going to give him too much. I was going to run him clean, pinch him in the center, but give him plenty of roll-off room out of the corner and make it a race. But I took 2 tires on that last stop and was certainly abusing them. Also had a little bit of damage, so I knew it was going to take everything I could to keep him underneath me. But finally got cleared and checked out, and hats off to him. That was a heck of a win.
Well, I can tell you it was a pleasure to watch from up here in the booth. I'm sure all the viewers at home enjoyed it. How many more of these truck races you guys got left in you? I know you're starting to run out of these since you guys aren't racing truck for points.
I got a few more. I think I've only ran 3 this season, maybe 4 tops. I don't have many Grand National left, but we'll see. I'm not going to hit every one of them, just the ones I like. So.
Well, congratulations on second, man. 2 nights in a row, fighting all the way through that field. I think you fought through the field twice last night, so you've been fun to watch this week, and hopefully you're just as fun to watch next week. You gonna come out for Eldora?
We might give her a shot. I'm gonna see what we got.
All right, buddy. Practice up. We'll see you next week.
10-4. Thanks, Ron.
All right, now let's pull in our winner, Wade Husted.
Yeah, there's only one left. You got this one, Taylor.
All right, here he is. Hey, Wade, it's Taylor and Ryan in the booth. You got us, sir.
Hey, Taylor, Ryan, how are you guys?
We're doing great. We saw a fantastic battle side by side with you and your teammate Chad for about, what was it, like 10 laps or so in a row?
That felt like an eternity.
Well, regardless, it was some great stuff. Just tell us about your night and how you were able to pull off that move.
Well, I know starting up front makes things a little easy. Just could just maintain my position. I wasn't pushing too hard, but Chad, he's got something, a niche for starting and back and coming all the way up to the front. So he had me a little worried there. I know he's on 2 tires, and truck seemed a little tight coming off, so I was wondering if that was going to free him up. But, man, he was holding his line, and I was kind of down low, and I was afraid I was going to probably lose out if we kept at it for another 5 laps. But just had to keep fighting. I mean, him and I are good fighting side by side, inch by inch, and hopefully this is pretty impressive from your guys' perspective, but just stayed consistent and pulled it away.
Well, if you want to ask about our perspective, it was an absolute blast to watch from up here, man. My first race back to broadcasting here in quite some time, and 2 nights in a row to watch him fight through, and then you guys to have the fight you did. I saw there mid-race. I mean, after that first caution, I know you led a lot of laps here tonight. You were probably or definitely the fastest truck on the track for a good portion of the race. You found yourself shuffled back a little bit after that first caution. I mean, is it just what happened? I mean, I haven't asked anybody yet tonight. When you guys came across after the first caution, right as you hit the start-finish line, up in the booth we saw another caution fly, and then you did 175 miles per hour past the pace car about a lap and a half later, and it's like none of you guys were even aware that the caution flew. Do you know what happened there? Or?
Yeah, it seemed like one of the admins threw a caution right as we were taking that restart, and I think there was a glitch with iRacing where we could see that banner up above in purple that had come out, but the yellow flag wasn't displayed. So I hate to see it for Chris Stouffer. He checked up a little bit there thinking there was going to be yellow, but I didn't see it, so I kept going, and I think the majority of us did too. But 2-3 laps later, they threw that yellow. Some people pitted, some people stayed out. I don't know if there's others that took 2, but we kind of got shuffled back, but we knew it'd probably fall in place as the race went on.
Well, a good fight back there to the front. Pleasure to watch your race tonight, man. You got any shout-outs or anything for our viewers before we let you go tonight?
Yeah, I was looking here. It's a pretty good finish for Sidarius tonight. It's good to see him running up here, and same with Getty Buckner. I think those are the top 2 guys that are running for points, so hats off to those guys. But just want to thank you, Ryan. It's good to have you back. It's always great to have you as a broadcaster. Taylor, you do a wonderful job as well. And just DRL, the league, it's a blast. I say it every week, but it's one of those things that you find things that you appreciate, and DRL is one of them.
Awesome, man. Well, you have a wonderful, wonderful evening. I got to ask you the same thing I ask everybody else. You coming out for Eldora next week or what?
No, not. I think I have 2 races left.
Oh, come on, Hustad. Come on.
I'm going to have my popcorn made for that race. Hopefully it's not too much of a wreck fest, but it should be pretty good next week, so I'm looking forward to watching it.
Oh, you just wait. You'll be seeing me wheel that truck around the track next week, and I won't be competing for 10th.
Yeah, just ride that cushion on top and stay out of trouble, and you should be good.
Yeah, it's a little different than some of them other dirt cars. You can't get it completely sideways. The truck is just a whole different beast in itself. So plan to get a lot of practice this week and see what we can do.
Yeah, it should pay off. So definitely going to be watching and rooting you on, Ryan.
Have a wonderful night, man.
Yeah, thanks, you guys. You too.
Well, Taylor, that was one heck of a race, man. So fun to watch tonight.
Well, these guys always put on a great show, regardless of which series it is, whether the Molinar Cup Series or the Northeast Ohio's Ghostbusters Grand National Series, or here in the Winona Road Truck Series.
Yes, sir. And as we just talked about a minute ago, or as I talked to everybody about so far tonight, the next week we got the Eldora Dirt Classic. That's coming from Eldora Speedway. For all of you who don't know, it's located in Rossburg, Rossburg, Ohio. That is a half-mile dirt track. Big sweeping dirt track. It's almost like a circle. Hardly, I mean, it technically it's an oval, but the corners are very big and round, sweeping corners. Pleasure to drive in these trucks. Slow drivers, you can drive it just like you drive a pavement oval. You can keep the wheel straight and pretend like you're not on a dirt track at all, and make nice slow times around the track. And then the guys you see that'll be posting fast times, they'll be all over the place. They'll be turning the truck in deep. They'll be getting that back right tire up on what Wade Hustad called the cushion. It's going to be some of the most exciting racing we've seen all season in these trucks. Hopefully not caution filled, but that will be back here next week. Hopefully with David Wellborn and yourself, Taylor. David had a bit of a family emergency, I guess. He wasn't able to make it here tonight. Hopefully he'll be back for next week, but you can bet that the DRL crew will be here on DRL TV in some form or another. The next broadcast altogether is coming tomorrow from, that's the Montreal Grand Prix. And I think it's, I don't even know how to pronounce it. I think it's Circuit Gilles-Villeneuve or something like that. I don't even know how to pronounce it.
Yeah.
I know it's Guile Villeneuve or something like that.
Oh, so Gilles Villeneuve, that's what it is. Jacques Villeneuve's father.
So that is tomorrow night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, that's that should be a pleasure to watch. I think it's like a 10 or 11 turn road course there in the Indy cars, so definitely is going to be fun to watch that one. Getty Buckner will be bringing you that broadcast tomorrow night. Let's run through the credits here. Got to throw out a big thanks to James Pandoff and Tater Bowman there, the owners of the Dynasty Racing League. Martin Wenzel and Jordan Gonzalez for all the graphic works that's done here every week. All the technical work again from Martin and Jordan, David Wellborn, Taylor Butcher Benjamin, yourself, Martin Wenzel, Getty Buckner, all the work that goes into this thing every week as far as broadcasting goes. Thanks to all the administrators, Tater, David, Martin, Jordan, James Pandoff, Getty Buckner. All of you guys every week for everything you do for the Dynasty Racing League, and then of course our viewers and all the drivers that come in and tune in and come out to these races every single week. If it wasn't for you guys, the Dynasty Racing League wouldn't exist. Big shout out to everybody, and huge shout out to our sponsor, Winona Road, for sponsoring this truck series. Can't wait to see you guys back again here tomorrow night. And Taylor, you got anything else for our viewers before we let them go this evening?
Well, I just gotta say, it's gonna be next week at Eldora. It's gonna be quite an interesting show for sure, and that's certainly one you guys won't want to miss.
Well, Taylor, you better be rooting for me next week, buddy.
Well, you said you're gonna be up towards the front, so I guess I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I know Spencer Tart's gonna run a good race here next week, so.
Yeah, but I actually just realized he wasn't in this race tonight. He came in, he was third in points, and
yeah, he missed out on a little bit of points, but I'm sure he'll make it up next week, because if there's anybody who can beat me at Eldora, it's him, that's for sure. Thanks to everybody again for tuning in. Have a wonderful night. This is Ryan Branch and Taylor Butcher Benjamin signing out with DRL TV.
All right, see you next time, folks.